TV, Pittsburgh.
Good evening, everybody. I'm George Michael, and welcome to the Sunday Night Sports Machine. Tonight, through the use of the Sports Machine, we're going to go to Miami, where the Dolphins were almost caught this afternoon. Almost, but not quite. Then we're going to go out to San Diego, where the Chargers continue to lead the league in frustration. In the National Hockey League, it's Wayne Gretzky and the Oilers trying to extend their unbeaten streak. And there's a race car driver who some people say should be sitting behind a typewriter instead of the wheel of a race car. Meanwhile, the world of football, an old nemesis showed up in St. Louis today, along with the Dallas Cowboys to play the Cardinals. The Cardinals know this nemesis well. It's called turnovers. Cardinals turned the ball over 6 times to provide the Cowboys with plenty of opportunity. Thus, the Cowboys post a 24-17 controversial win. First of all, about the score itself. Let's go to Bush Memorial Stadium in St. Louis. The Cardinals' Neil O'Donoghue is lined up for a 49-yard field goal. Well, it's blocked. Ron Fellows scoops it up for the Cowboys. He's number 27. He is caught from behind by Benny Perrin. Well, as you can see, Fellows fumbles the ball. Cowboys finally recover. It would be their first touchdown, making it 7-0. Now to the second quarter. It's 7-0 Dallas. Neil Lomax will look for Pat Tilley. Tilley makes a sliding catch, pulls right away from Victor Scott. 16-yard touchdown. The game is tied 7-7. Third quarter. Cowboys are leading. Neil Lomax rolls right. He's looking for Randy Love in the end zone. It's tipped by Randy White right into the hands of Randy Love. Randy, what a spike. It was 17-14. Now in the fourth quarter, we're tied 17-all. Neil Lomax under pressure. He throws off of Roy Green, intercepted by Victor Scott. 6 turnovers for the Cardinals. Just 3 plays later, Gary Hogeboom would go to Ron Springs. 27-yard touchdown pass. The Cowboys over the Cardinals 24-17. The Cowboys, of course, now share first place in the NFC East with the Washington Redskins. There is one play from this game that was surrounded by controversy and will continue to be discussed for, I guess, the rest of the year, or if you're with the Cardinals, it will be cussed for the rest of the year. Here's what it was. A Roy Green touchdown that was called back due to an offensive pass interference call. It proved to be the play which would send the Cardinals to defeat. And for that play, as well as the comments of the participants, let's go out to St. Louis Bush Memorial Stadium. Here is the play of the day. Now, the way it works in this game, they're all tied 17-all. Lomax throws a 39-yard touchdown. Watch the right of your screen. That's number 81. He's called for pass interference with Everson Wall. Roy Green said, pass interference? Man, you robbed me of a touchdown. What is that call, Roy?
It just, God, I guess behooves me to think that he even threw a flag on the play, but, you know, he has the authority to do that. You know, he said, I guess he figured it was interference on the play, and that's why he threw the flag. So, you know, you just have to go with it.
I told him, you know, that's what he gets for being so fast and so strong, because he didn't have a chance to avoid me at the time. And once I turned my body in front of him, he didn't try to get around me. He just tried to run through me almost.
That's what he saw, apparently, and you got to go with that. I mean, what the hell do you want me to do? I can't complain about it. Isn't going to do me one damn bit of good to complain about it.
All truck companies talk tough, but only one puts its money where its mouth is. Dodge. Because only Dodge gives you a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on engine, powertrain, and outer body rust-through. It covers new 85 full-size pickups, wagons, vans, and Ram Chargers, making Dodge the best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
Welcome to Miller Time.
Miller Time begins here, where Miller High Life waits for the finest ingredients to reach their golden best. Then we go beyond ingredients and use the finest brewing skills making sure Miller High Life contains no additives and no preservatives. So come your Miller time, you get nothing but the fresh, smooth taste of just pure beer. Welcome to Miller High Life.
Welcome to Miller time.
It's open season on Chevy trucks at your Greater Pittsburgh Chevy dealers. They've tagged every truck in stock with open season prices to put you in a new pickup now. Tag one for yourself and be ready to haul it, push it,
So bring
pull
on the load,
it. Save big.
bring on the road.
They got hundreds in stock.
You got the goods, get up and go, ho, ho. Bring on the mud,
You've been wanting one,
bring on the mud.
so come and get them
Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
at your Greater Pittsburgh Chevy dealer.
It can keep you from getting a cold. It can prevent a runny nose. It can stop the sniffles. And it can even make you feel better. It doesn't require a prescription. It's something you can't buy in a store. And best of all, it's free. What is it? It's the AccuWeather forecast, only on Channel 11 News. Preventive medicine against the cruel forces of nature.
Well, I've got to tell you the truth. At one point today, I honestly thought San Diego Chargers were going to win. And I was ready to say, hey, don't count the Chargers out because they're going to come back. Instead, San Diego knocked out for the count by Denver. Broncos beat them 16-13 for Denver's 9th straight win. Let's go to Jack Murphy Stadium. By now, all the critics of Denver have got to be silent. First of all, Dan Fouts would team up with Charlie Joyner. This is one of the best combinations ever in the NFL. 25-yard touchdown. It's 7-3, the Chargers. Now, with 1:30 to go in the game, the Chargers lead 13-9. Elway to Ray Alexander. He juggles the ball. He pulls it in for the reception. He's got it at the 5. Now, 30 seconds to go. The Broncos move the ball to the 1-yard line. Time running out. They call on Sammy Winder. 1-yard touchdown. Watch Clarence Kay of Denver. He'll tell you that the Broncos have got the lead 16-13. But miraculously, they move in, the Chargers do, with a chance to hit a field goal. 8 seconds to go. It's Rolf Benerschke, 46-yard field goal. It is wide to the left. It's no good. Denver knocks off San Diego 16-13. And I think people by now have to admire the Denver Broncos. They are 10-1. Most of their wins have been dramatic kind. They come from behind. The man who led them today to victory, quarterback John Elway. Elway, folks, is a man who firmly believes in the old saying, as Yogi Berra would say, it's never over until it's really over. Let's go to the Broncos locker room and John Elway. What about it, John?
Coming from Stanford, I know that the game's not over, especially when we're not on the field until it says 0-0. And anytime you're going against Dan Fouts and the receivers and the offense that they've got, you know the game's not over. So I was happy when we scored that touchdown, but I thought that we might be going into overtime. But you know, I'm just glad he missed it and we didn't have to play that extra quarter.
Going into overtime was dependent upon Rolf Benerschke, 46-yard field goal. It was wide to the left for the Broncos. Victory number 10 for San Diego. They are now 5-6. Another day of disappointment for the San Diego Chargers and for Rolf.
Really just real disappointment. Just like you let everybody down. The team played so well all day, and you know, who would think we'd have a chance to win it with 38 seconds to go or tie it, and yet Dan was able to move the ball down and get us in position, and I just felt disappointed that I couldn't come through.
Rolf Benerschke, a man who has come through so often for the San Diego Chargers. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins, they kept their spotless record intact. They beat the Eagles 24-23. It was the closest, however, the Dolphins have come to losing all year. Miami now has 11-game winning streak going this year. Let's go to the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Eagles, you got to convert on extra points, folks. First of all, first quarter no score. Ron Jaworski goes to Mike Quick. Mike Quick is there. 19-yard touchdown. Yes, he had both feet in. That made it 7-0 Philadelphia. Still in the first. It's 14-0. Marino's going to go to Mark Clayton. Mark Clayton is human, folks. Watch this one. It's to him for a touchdown pass. He drops the ball. So it remained 14-0 until the third quarter. The Eagles were leading 17-14. Ron Jaworski, this is going to be a big play. His pass, it's picked off by Langford out at the Eagles 27. Just 7 plays later, Pete Johnson, 1-yard touchdown, 21-17 Miami. However, in the fourth quarter, the Dolphins lead 24-17. The Eagles aren't done. Jaworski to Melvin Hoover. Hoover splits the defense. He'll go 39 yards. It's 24-23. Eagles need but to kick the extra point to tie it up. Paul McFadden, he lines it up. The kick is blocked by Doug Betters. Miami wins 24-23. Take a look at Ron Jaworski. Tell me just how bitter it was. Ron, you do so much. How can you possibly mix the extra point? Green Bay is back in this game, folks. Don't count them out of the playoffs. Quarterback Lynn Dickey had his arm in working condition today. He passed for 4 touchdowns, 303 yards. He sparks the Packers to a 45-17 rout of the Vikings. Oh, the Vikings' 3-8 record drops them to the bottom of the NFC Central Division. Let's go to Milwaukee. This is a game that, boy, the Packers really wanted. First of all, in the second quarter, Green Bay and Green, unusual incident here. Darren Nelson is about to take the ball, and he's going to get nailed by Gary Hayes. Fumble. Leo Lewis will pick it up, however. Leo Lewis, making the most out of what he could, picks up 41 yards. The Vikings would go on to tie this game. In fact, in the third quarter, the Vikings were trailing 17-10. When Wade Wilson, their quarterback, to Alfred Anderson, want you to watch this run. Anderson takes a little swing pass. He breaks 1 tackle. He breaks 2. He breaks 3. 28-yard touchdown run for Alfred Anderson. The game was tied 17-17. But in the fourth quarter, Lynn Dickey would really go to work. You talk about pretty pass plays. James Lofton is the man that Lynn Dickey has in mind. Lofton, he's gone. Let him get behind you. You'll never catch him. Packers rout the Vikings 45-17. Lynn Dickey celebrating, and well, they should. Oh, in an attempt to keep their playoff hopes alive, the Bengals rallied in the last second of the game to edge the Steelers 22-20. Now, the win cuts Pittsburgh's AFC Central Division lead to just 2 games over Cincinnati. Let's go to Riverfront Stadium. In the early moments, I thought Cincinnati might have blown this thing. They had a golden opportunity.